Alex gripped the steering wheel tightly, eyes fixed on the narrow path ahead. The road stretched endlessly, swallowed by shadows under a pitch-black sky. It felt as if the world had vanished, leaving only the hum of the engine and the echo of his thoughts. Solitude wrapped around him like a heavy blanket, weighing him down with each mile he traveled. The darkness felt alive, pulsing with an energy that mirrored the restlessness within him. Alex couldn't shake the feeling that he was chasing something intangible, something just beyond his grasp. Each bump in the road jostled his body, yet nothing could jostle his mind from its spiral of worries. He had set off seeking adventure or perhaps a moment of clarity, but instead, he found emptiness. With no light to guide him, each shadow seemed to whisper secrets of lost opportunities and dreams abandoned. Alex felt a deep ache in his chest. He had made choices that led him here, a place void of direction and purpose. The silence pressed in, amplifying his feelings of isolation. Outside, the trees stood like silent sentinels, their branches reaching out like skeletal hands. The chill in the air seeped through the windows, invading his warmth. In that moment, he realized it wasn't just the road that felt desolate. It was his heart that was chasing after something it couldn't define. A longing for connection, a craving for meaning. The road snaked endlessly before Alex, a dark ribbon woven through an expanse of night. Tall trees lined the edges, their branches swaying gently in the cool wind, casting elongated shadows that danced along the asphalt. Without a single star to pierce the inky sky, the absence of light made everything feel surreal, as if time had frozen in this eerie landscape. The only sounds were the tires gliding over the pavement and the soft thrum of the engine. In this stillness, Alex felt both small and lost. The emptiness around him amplified his own feelings of solitude. Each stretch of road seemed to echo his internal struggle. The dull thud of his heart matched the rhythmic pulse of the engine, a reminder that he was very much alive in a world that felt void. With every mile he drove, the darkness enveloped him more tightly, nearly suffocating in its weight. Distant hills loomed like silent watchers, their shapes obscured and haunting under the cloak of night. Alex's imagination ran wild, filling in gaps with whispers of missed chances and unfulfilled dreams. The solitude wasn't peaceful. It gnawed at him like a restless ghost seeking release. He longed for a flicker of light, a sign that he wasn't truly alone, but all around was an abyss of blackness. This was not just a road. It was a reflection of his own inner emptiness, stretching out forever with no end in sight. As the tires rolled over the asphalt, Alex's mind drifted like the fog that clung to the ground. He thought about the paths not taken, the dreams that once burned brightly but now flickered like dying embers. What had he sacrificed for a life filled with routine and expectations? Each mile felt like a step away from the person he wanted to be, a distant echo of his former ambitions. Images of laughter and friendship danced through his mind, memories of carefree days that seemed worlds away. He remembered nights spent dreaming under starlit skies, making plans that felt within reach. But those dreams had slowly faded into whispers, swallowed by responsibilities and fear. Now, as he drove deeper into darkness, he wondered if those pieces of himself were lost forever. The call of the unknown tugged at him, promising adventure and discovery if only he could find the courage to embrace it. His heart raced at the thought of what lay beyond the confines of his current reality, a life filled with spontaneity, connection, and passion. But fear held him back like chains made of doubt. Was it too late to chase those dreams? Was there still time to redefine his path? The restlessness inside him swelled, reminding him that true fulfillment required more than just existing. It demanded a leap into the unknown. Yet, in this quiet solitude, Alex knew he must summon the strength to answer that call or risk losing himself entirely in the shadows. As Alex continued down the shadowy road, he began to notice strange occurrences that sent a chill up his spine. At first, it was just the flicker of something moving in the corners of his vision. Shadows darting among the trees, too fleeting to identify. With each passing moment, the darkness felt more alive, teeming with unseen presences that seemed to watch him from afar. Then came the whispers, They floated through the air like a light breeze, carrying fragmented words that were impossible to understand. It took only a few seconds for unease to settle in. He couldn't tell if they were echoes of his own thoughts or spectral voices from another world. The unsettling nature of these sounds stirred both fear and curiosity within him. Who, or what was trying to communicate? With each mile marker he passed, the atmosphere thickened, and Alex found himself glancing nervously in the rearview mirror, half expecting to see a figure lurking behind him. The tension built inside him like a coiled spring, urging him to either speed away or confront whatever was haunting him. His heart raced as he considered turning back, but something deeper compelled him to press forward. The call of the unknown had intensified, mingling with the anxiety that gripped him. What lay ahead? Would he find clarity or merely plunge deeper into darkness? The mixture of fear and intrigue pulled him along, forcing him to confront not only the road ahead, but also the shadows within himself. As he drove deeper into the night, Alex's attention was suddenly drawn to a flicker of light illuminating the dimness ahead. It danced through the trees like a will-o'-the-wisp, sometimes brightening and sometimes fading, but always just out of reach. Without thinking, he felt an irresistible pull toward it, sparking a mixture of excitement and fear within him. Heart racing, he accelerated, eager to chase the mysterious glow. The light became a beacon in the darkness, symbolizing his longing for something more, an escape from his solitude and an opportunity for rediscovery. Perhaps this was the adventure he had yearned for, an answer to his internal struggle. With each heartbeat, hope flickered alongside the light, urging him to believe in the possibility of change. The road curved unexpectedly, and Alex leaned into the turn, driven by a sense of purpose. As he navigated the twists and turns, a thrilling sensation bubbled up within him. It was a reminder of the passion he once had for living spontaneously. For a moment, all his worries fell away as he focused solely on this chase. Flickering lights ahead hinted at secrets waiting to be unveiled, truths that may help him reclaim the pieces of himself he'd thought were lost. Yet doubt lingered in the back of his mind like a shadow. Was this light real or merely a trick of his weary imagination? Regardless, he pressed on into the unknown. Deep down, Alex knew that chasing these lights meant more than just unearthing mysteries. It was about finding meaning in a life that felt adrift and testing whether he could overcome the darkness both outside and within himself. As Alex sped toward the flickering light, the air around him grew thick with anticipation. Suddenly, just ahead on the road, a figure materialized, ethereal and shadowy. It hovered at the edge of the dim illumination, its form shifting like smoke caught in the wind. A chill ran down his spine as disbelief hit him. Was this a mirage brought on by fatigue, or a real presence urging him to stop? The figure seemed to regard him with hollow eyes, and for a moment, time stood still. Alex's heart raced, confusion flooding his thoughts. The encounter felt strangely familiar, as if he recognized the essence of this ghost-like being. It was almost as though it echoed his own desires and regrets, a manifestation of his restless soul searching for meaning in a life filled with unfulfilled dreams. "Who are you?" he called hesitantly, his voice trembling. The figure wavered but did not dissipate. Instead, it gestured toward the light ahead, inviting him closer. Our emotions are intertwined, he realized, and this specter was a reflection of all he had lost. The dreams, the friendships, and his truest self. Doubt and fear loomed large within him, but so did an aching curiosity. This encounter forced him to confront not just the ghost in front of him, but also the phantoms within, the parts of himself that he had buried deep beneath layers of disappointment and routine. Alex knew he needed to face them if he ever wished to move forward. In doing so, he could either find redemption or risk being swallowed by the very darkness he had fled. As Alex lingered in the presence of the ghostly figure, he could feel the toll of his journey weighing heavily on his soul. Each moment spent chasing the elusive light seemed to draw energy from him, and with every passing mile, he sensed pieces of himself slipping away. Memories that once ignited joy now faded like distant echoes, leaving only a hollow ache in their place. Laughter with friends, dreams of adventure, and moments of love felt like pages torn from a cherished book, leaving blank spaces behind. The thrill of the chase was overshadowed by an unsettling realization. The deeper he ventured into this unknown, the more disconnected he became from who he truly was. Emotions that once burned brightly, the warmth of hope, the spark of enthusiasm, dimmed under the weight of uncertainty. In their absence, a pervasive numbness settled in, making everything around him feel surreal and distant. Alex's heart echoed the emptiness of the road. Shadows danced along the edges of his vision, and the whispers that had once intrigued him now carried a tone of sorrowful warning. He felt lost in the darkness, not just outside but within himself, as if he were wandering through a maze with no exit. He knew he could not continue this pursuit without consequence. Each step led him further away from the light of his own identity. As the specter beckoned him forward, Alex grappled with a painful truth. To chase after meaning meant also risking losing what little clarity he had left. It was a precarious balance between discovery and despair, and he wondered if he had already paid too high a toll on this relentless journey. As the road stretched on and exhaustion wrapped around Alex like a heavy fog, he instinctively slowed the car to a halt. The cold air seeped in through the cracked window, mixing with his weary thoughts. He leaned back against the seat, closing his eyes, and for the first time during this tumultuous journey, he allowed himself to reflect on what truly mattered. The chase, once exhilarating, now felt hollow. He thought of the laughter of friends and the warmth of meaningful connections that had slipped through his fingers in the pursuit of unrelenting ambition. Chasing after an intangible light had led him down a path of emptiness that echoed back at him with each heartbeat. What was the point of chasing dreams if they could leave him feeling more disconnected and lost? In that moment, clarity washed over him like a gentle wave. He realized that real fulfillment didn't lie in distant lights or in escaping the shadows. It was found in authentic relationships, simple joys, and the beauty of being present. Memories of heartfelt conversations and spontaneous adventures danced in his mind, reminding him of a life filled with purpose. The spectral figure from earlier lingered in his thoughts, not as a ghastly reminder but as a catalyst for understanding. If he continued this reckless pursuit without grounding himself in what truly mattered, the focus on chasing would only lead to greater losses. It was time to reclaim what was truly significant, to reconnect with himself and those he cherished, for only then could he emerge from this darkness into the light of rediscovery. With newfound clarity, Alex took a deep breath and put the car in reverse, feeling an unexpected weight lift from his shoulders. The flickering light that had once drawn him forward was now just a distant memory, a mirage fading into the night. He realized that the journey he needed to embark on was not a chase toward something external, but a return to what truly mattered, the people and moments that filled his life with meaning. As he navigated the winding road back, the shadows that had once felt suffocating began to lighten. The trees, which had loomed ominously before, now appeared as silent guardians, guiding him home rather than trapping him in darkness. Each mile marked a step away from emptiness and toward connection. He could almost hear the laughter of friends waiting for him, echoing warmly in his mind. In this moment of self-discovery, Alex recognized that turning back did not signify failure, but rather a brave acceptance of his reality. It was a choice to prioritize real relationships over fleeting illusions. As he drove, memories of heartfelt conversations and simple joys flooded back, reminders of the richness of life that he had nearly forgotten in his pursuit of something unattainable. The road ahead, though still dark, no longer felt daunting. Instead, it carried promise. He was ready to face his true self again, to embrace both the light and shadows within him. With each passing moment, Alex felt stronger and more determined to reclaim his life, knowing that true fulfillment awaited him at home. As Alex drove away from the dark road, a sense of liberation washed over him. With each mile, the weight of emptiness lifted, replaced by a warm glow of hope that filled the car. The shadows that had once felt so oppressive now faded into the distance, and he welcomed the embrace of the soft light that began to break through the night. The road ahead stretched wide and inviting, flanked by trees that seemed to cheer for his return. He could see the outlines of familiar places just beyond the horizon. The laughter of friends, the comfort of home, and the joy of shared experiences waiting to welcome him back into their fold. Each heartbeat resonated with a newfound appreciation for life's simple pleasures. Alex reflected on his journey, realizing it had transformed him in ways he hadn't anticipated. The pursuit of meaning had led him through darkness, yet it was in that darkness where he discovered his own strength and resilience. No longer was he chasing illusions. He was ready to embrace authenticity and connection, understanding that fulfillment came not from distant lights, but from those who truly enriched his soul. As dawn broke on the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and gold, Alex felt a surge of gratitude. He had emerged from the shadows, ready to create a life rooted in meaningful relationships and genuine experiences. With a heart full of hope and determination, he drove toward the light, knowing that this time he was headed home, not just to a place, but to himself.